if there was another option, then there would have been no reason to have accepted that offer.
She was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 35 years. However, when emotions run high in court, the actions of Bustamante and Eric Nausch leave us questioning sanity itself.
They blame you for
Can I
this?
stop you right there?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I did not pull the trigger, and I was not there that night.
Nausch is in a Las Vegas court for a senseless murder. In February 2015, Nausch fatally shot the 44-year-old mother of four, Tammy Myers, during a road rage incident.
Do you ever think about Tammy?
I have. I mean, I didn't know her real well. She's always been an upbeat, happy woman. You know, I've seen her walk her dogs a few times.
Following his arrest, Nausch immediately confessed during questioning.
Everywhere I went, that car was there. Like, it was there. Like, and I just had threats. I had my arm out the window, always shooting.
In court, the husband of the slain woman was very angry with Nausch.
Am I gonna forgive you? Never. Ever. Neither one of you will get my forgiveness. And especially Eric now. I hope for me and mine, you burn in hell and you get what you have coming to you today. Because you, Mr. are an animal.
Now it's time for Nausch to learn his fate.
Life in prison, possibly parole beginning after 10 years. On the weapons enhancement, a consecutive term of, maximum term of 120 months, minimum term of 48 months.
28-year-old Derek Andrews, who was the driver, was also sentenced to 5 to 15 years. Both men are still serving their sentences in prison. However, while this reaction could certainly be dismissed as an effect of drugs, the same can't be said for the case of 16-year-old Samuel Gizal.
Why get a bail when you murder somebody?
Exactly.
They don't get to come back. So why should you be in society?
Who's facing charges of murder in Washington. On July 3rd, 2024, Gizal was fighting with some boys when he fired his gun at them. But accidentally hit 13-year-old Jada. Unfortunately, Jada lost her life. During Gizal's bail hearing, Jada's mother made an emotional statement.
Today is not just our court hearing, it is also the first day of school. Jada would have started 8th grade today, but instead she will always be a 7th grader.
Gizal pled not guilty, hoping for a lesser bond.
And Mr. Gizal, you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is your plea?
Not guilty.
The prosecutor insists that he poses a danger and that the bond amount should be increased.
There is a long history of Mr. Gizal being violent, fighting guns to be fun, all of his friends being of the same nature, and he poses a danger to this community. Additionally, Your Honor, the firearm used in this incident has not been located.
The defense argued that Gizal's actions were based on self-defense.
This was an ambush, and he was going to get the snot kicked out of him, and that was their intent. But for the fact that he had a gun on him, that's what would have happened.
Gizal's initial bond of about $50,000 was overturned after the judge saw social media images of him posing with guns. His bond was raised to $2 million. His case is still ongoing. However, as we see Gizal's disastrous actions, it brings to mind the strikingly similar actions of 16-year-old Simeon Adams.
Free little red, he innocent, he ain't do none of that.
How do you know?
How do I know? Get these cameras out of my face.
Who's facing murder charges in Indianapolis. On March 30th, 2014, Adams fatally shot Eric Douglas.
The teen suspect allegedly used a stolen gun for that murder.
Douglas was on his morning walk when Adams attacked. Douglas's devastated sister couldn't hold herself.
Angry, it's gonna be my word of choice. Surprised, shocked, frustrated, sickened.
In the end, Adams was sentenced to 55 years in prison. However, it's not the first time a convict has lost control in court.
I just came home and my son's dad put a knife to my throat and he cut my hand and I'm like bleeding everywhere and my son's freaking out.
Just like what happened in the notorious case of Adam Matos, who's facing charges of murder in Florida. In August 2014, the disgruntled ex fatally shot his ex-girlfriend, her parents, and her new boyfriend. He then stayed in the house and tried to hide their bodies. However, he was soon arrested. In court, he claims self-defense.
I realize now that she probably wasn't trying to kill me. I was just out of it and so paranoid and in shock.
The loved ones of the deceased also tore into him.
There's not a single day that goes by that your son does not think about his family that he lost at the hands of a murderer. He loves his mother, he loves his grandparents, and he loves us. He does not love you. You stole his whole world. You ruined his whole life, and we are here to pick up the pieces.
Needless to say, the jury found him guilty.
The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree. The defendant is guilty of murder in the first degree.
Before he was sentenced, the judge gave him a piece of her mind.
This was the most selfish, self-centered, evil thing that I've ever heard.